Most people hear the word grant and picture the same thing, a check you apply for, wait on, and hopefully receive. Startup SG Accelerator quietly breaks that picture because it is not really a cash grant you fill in a form for. It is support delivered through accelerators and incubators, the programs that take promising early stage startups and try to help them grow faster. So the thing you engage with is not a government portal, it is a program, and that difference changes everything. In the next few minutes, we will walk through what it actually is, who it suits, how the model works, how to approach one, and how it sits alongside the other startup SEG routes. One important note before we start, this channel is educational only. We are not a government agency. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by Go Business, Enterprise Singapore, or any government body. And nothing here is official advice. Program names, partners, and support levels change over time, so we will keep this to the big picture and always point you to the official source, gobusiness.gov.sg, to confirm the current details for your situation before you rely on any of it. What it really is, start with the core idea, because it is the thing most people get wrong. Startup SG Accelerator is not a scheme you apply to directly for a sum of money. Instead, it works through accelerators and incubators, the organizations that run structured programs for early-stage startups. These programs are the delivery partners, and support flows to founders through them rather than around them. An accelerator working under this route can offer selected startups a mix of mentoring, a structured curriculum, access to networks, and in some cases funding support, all wrapped inside a single program. So when you set out to benefit from Startup SG Accelerator, you are not really chasing a grant, you are trying to earn a place in a good program. That reframing matters because everything changes once you see it as joining a cohort rather than filling in a form for cash. Confirm the current shape of the route on gobusiness.gov.sg, hoax.gov.sg, hence Kinparini. It tends to fit early-stage startups that need more than money, teams that could use mentorship, a network of investors and operators, and the discipline of a structured program far more than they need a simple check. If your only real gap is capital and you already know exactly what to build, an accelerator may add less than you hope. But if you are still shaping your product, testing who your customers are, and trying to reach people who can open doors, the guidance and connections can matter more than any single sum. It also suits founders who are coachable, who want to be challenged on their assumptions rather than just funded and left alone. Think honestly about your real bottleneck. If it is knowledge, direction, and access, this model fits well. If it is purely a missing line in a budget, another route may serve you better. How the model works. It helps to picture how the model actually works, step by step, because it is quite different from a normal grant flow. First, an accelerator or incubator becomes a recognized delivery partner. Then, it runs its own program and selects the startups it wants, usually through its own application and interview process. Once you are in, you go through a structured program, which might include mentoring, workshops, milestones, and introductions, and in some cases, the partner provides funding support to its cohort. The government support sits behind the accelerator, enabling the program, rather than landing directly in your account through a form you filled in. So the entity you build a relationship with is the accelerator, not a portal, and your job is to be the kind of startup a strong program wants. Because the exact mechanics, partners, and terms are set officially and change over time, always check the current details on gobusiness.gov.sg before assuming how any part of it works. Gives you. Set the money aside for a moment and look at what a genuinely good accelerator gives you, because this is where the real value usually sits. The first thing is mentors, experienced founders and operators who have already made the mistakes you are about to make, and who can shorten painful lessons into a single conversation. The second is access, warm introductions to investors, partners, and customers that would take you months to earn on your own. The third is a structured curriculum, a deliberate sequence that pushes you to work on the parts of the business you have been avoiding. And the fourth, often underrated, is the peer cohort, a group of founders at the same stage who become sounding boards, honest critics, and sometimes lasting allies. Any funding support that comes with it is real, but for most founders, these four things, mentors, access, curriculum, and cohort, are what actually move the business. Judge your program on those before anything else. Research the accelerator's focus. Because you are joining a program rather than drawing from a common pool, which accelerator you choose matters enormously, so do your homework before you apply anywhere. Accelerators are not interchangeable. Each tends to have a focus, a thesis about the kind of startups it backs, the sectors it understands, the stage it prefers, and the outcomes it is trying to produce. A program whose mentors, alumni, and investor network sit squarely in your space is worth far more than a bigger name whose strengths lie elsewhere. So study each accelerator honestly. Look at the startups it has worked with, the mentors on its roster, where its alumni ended up, and what it says it is looking for. The goal is to find the program whose focus genuinely overlaps with what you are building, because a strong fit means better mentors, warmer introductions, and a cohort that speaks your language. Treat the choice of accelerator as seriously as the application itself. Apply to the program. Once you have found accelerators that genuinely fit, the way you engage is by applying to their programs, on their terms, through their own process. This is not a government form, it is more like applying to a competitive school, and each program runs its own intake. Treat it that way. Be specific about what you are building and the problem it solves, show early evidence that customers care, and be clear about why this particular program is the right place for you at this stage. Generic applications that could have been sent to any accelerator tend to read as exactly what they are, where you can get a warm introduction, since a credible referrer opens doors faster than a cold form. And prepare for the conversation as much as the written application, because programs are choosing people as much as ideas, and a clear, honest founder who knows their numbers and their gaps leaves a strong impression. Apply thoughtfully to a few that truly fit, rather than blanketing every program you can find. Show you fit and you're coachable. Accelerators select for two things beyond a promising idea: genuine fit with their thesis, and a founder who is actually coachable, so make both visible. Fit you demonstrate by showing you understand what the program is for, and how your startup advances the outcomes it cares about, not by contorting your pitch to sound like whatever you think they want. Coachability is subtler, but just as important. Programs invest their scarcest resource, mentor time, in founders who listen and act on feedback, and they can spot the founder who only wants money and will nod politely, then ignore every suggestion. Show that you are open, that you have changed your mind before when the evidence demanded it, and that you see the mentors and cohort as the real prize. At the same time, coachable does not mean spineless, and the best founders hold a clear point of view while staying open to being wrong. Signal that balance, real conviction paired with real openness, and you look exactly like the founder a strong program wants to spend its year on. Where it sits among Startup SG, it is worth placing this root within the wider Startup SG family, because the name sounds similar and the differences matter. Speaking only in broad strokes, and not to specific criteria, Startup SG founder is generally associated with support for first-time founders getting a new venture off the ground, often working through appointed mentor partners. Startup SG Tech is generally associated with startups commercializing proprietary technology and deep innovation. Startup SG Accelerator, today's root, works through accelerators and incubators to strengthen those programs and the startups they support. So the mental model is less which grant do I want, and more which kind of support fits where I am. Do not lean on these one-line descriptions as eligibility, because each has its own official definition that changes over time. Use them only to orient yourself, then confirm what each route actually is, and which suits you on gobusiness.gov.sg. Realistic expectations. Go in with realistic expectations, because a clear head here prevents disappointment and helps you choose well. The first reality is that good accelerator programs are competitive. They receive far more applicants than they take. The second is that this route is about growth support, not free money. Even where funding support exists, the center of gravity is mentorship, structure, and network, and a founder who joins purely for a check usually gets the least out of the experience. The third reality is that an accelerator accelerates. It does not create. It can help a real business grow faster, but it cannot manufacture a market that is not there. And the fourth is simply that nothing here is a promise. Being a strong candidate improves your odds and nothing more, and no video, including this one, can tell you that you will be selected. Hold these expectations and you will approach the whole thing as what it is, a serious opportunity to grow, earned through a competitive process. Confirm the current details. Before you act on anything, confirm the current details from the official source, because this is exactly the kind of route where specifics shift over time. The list of qualified accelerators and incubators can change. The way each program runs, what support it offers, and how you apply can change. None of it is fixed, and a description that was accurate when this video was made may not describe the program you are looking at today. So treat everything here as orientation, not instruction. When you are ready to move, go to the official source, gobusiness.gov.sg, and for the wider Startup SG picture, you can also look to enterprisesg.gov.sg and read the current program details, partners, and process directly. If anything you find there differs from what you heard here, the official source is right and we are out of date. Build your plans on what those pages say today, not on any summary. A closing reminder. So here is the whole idea in one breath. Startup SG Accelerator is not a cash grant you apply for directly. It is support delivered through accelerators and incubators, and the way you benefit is by earning a place in a strong program that fits what you are building. Choose the accelerator whose focus matches your startup. Apply thoughtfully on its terms, show that you fit its thesis and are genuinely coachable, and value the mentors, network, curriculum, and cohort at least as much as any funding. Keep your expectations realistic, because it is competitive and it is about growth, not free money, and nothing here is a promise that you will be selected. We are not affiliated with any government agency, and we cannot approve, secure, or guarantee a place for you. So confirm the current programs, partners, and process on gobusiness.gov.sg before you rely on anything. If this made the Startup SG landscape a little clearer, subscribe for more plain English Singapore grant and scheme explainers, and we will keep turning these programs into plain English one step at a time.